finally got like a normal.
All right, here's the practice test. So let's look at the first one. Here's a tax bracket. It's going to be pretty much the same, just with different numbers, different percentages. So for the first one, okay? Zach earned $5,000 in 1 year. How much does he pay? In this situation, Zach only hits the 10,000. So it's going to be $5,000 at 10%. You put that in your calculator, that's going to be $500, okay?
Simba.
That's all you want us to do?
Yeah, for this one, yeah. It gets harder the bigger the number is.
Okay.
So what's Zach's effective tax rate? So that means
10%.
he's going to be, he paid $500 in taxes, and he had $5,000 worth of income. So that's end up going to be, if you put it in your calculator, 0.1, which you turn into 10%. Now that matches your percentage tax because he was only in one bracket.
Got it.
When he's in two or more brackets, or anyone's in two or
Then you
more
have to,
brackets.
like, chalk it up.
Yes, so we'll talk about how we get that and Julie's. Julia's.
Well, then you would just put it like 25,000. Then you would do it.
No, you'll see.
But I think I know how to do it already.
Okay, so pay
I know how
attention.
to do it, I just hate it.
So next one, Julia earns 25K. So that includes the first bracket and the second bracket. So 10,000 of that dollars is going to be in the first bracket. So 10,000 times 10% equals $1,000. Then she has left over $15,000. That $15,000
Next bracket.
goes into the next bracket, which is 15%.
You're proud of yourself.
I am so proud of myself.
So 15,000 times 15.
Snapchat for having fake mascara. Why are you separating it?
Because the different brackets, you see the range here?
No, I am.
Abby, you see the range?
When I'm not.
Yeah, I know. Let's
I
go back
don't
on.
see the range.
So here is 0 to 10,000. So the first $10,000 is going to be at 10%, which is on the table over here, okay?
I'm saying 25,000 in 1 year, so why are we doing 10,000?
So because it's 25,000, 10,000 is going to be here, and then she has 15,000 left over, right? She had just paid 10,000 worth of taxes on that first one, okay? Now, how much money does she have left? 15. That goes into the next bracket. If she had more than what this bracket could hold, she will go to the next bracket. We'll see in that question number 3 or whatever. But anyway, 15,000 times 15%, that's going to be 2,250. Yeah, 2,250. So the amount of taxes, I hate this TV sometimes, man. So the amount of taxes she paid, you just add up the taxes. So 1,000 plus 2,250 is 3,250. So she paid a total of 3,250 taxes. You're supposed to pay 3,250 taxes. The question is, what is Julia's effective tax rate? Julia's effective tax rate is going to be the money she paid in taxes, 3,250, divided by how much money she totally made, which is 25,000. So 25,000.
Ramadan's over there.
So 3,250 divided by 25,000. So that ends up being 0.13, which is 13%. So even though some of it was in the 10% range, and some the top divided by bottom. So even though she was some part 10%, some part 15%, combined it averages to 13%.
I'm still not understanding the previous one. If she makes 25, why are you separating those? Why don't you just do, she makes between 10 and 4,000?
Because how taxes work is the first $10,000 goes to the first bracket.
So if someone makes 100, you do the first 10,000.
Then the next, what would be like 30,000, and the next whatever. Because it's technically 40 minus 10, so just 30. So let's do that. Okay, Shul makes 120,000, okay? So he makes 120,000 in this case, okay?
I think progress is so ugly now.
So if he makes 120K, that means in this bracket he will pay 10K. In this bracket, he will pay 30K because there's only 30 in between 10 and 40. he makes 120K, so he's going to reach the last bracket. So in this bracket, he'll pay the maximum amount, which is 110 minus 40, or 70. So he's going to pay 70K on that. Should be 30,000. And in the last bracket, he's only 10,000 above that, so the last part is only going to be 10,000. So for Shul, I'm just going to do it on this part of the page because it'll keep the bar on the thing. So for Shul, it's going to be, there you go. It's going to be the first $10,000 times 10%. Should feel familiar, it's $1,000. Then the next $30,000 in 15%. That's going to be 4,500. The $70,000 times 25%. That's going to be, can you stop TV? This sucks, man. 70,000 times 25 percent. 25%. Yeah, if you could. 25%.
17,500.
So good. 17,500. Thank you. And then the last 10,000% or $10,000 he has is going to be charged at 30%, which is 3,000. So what we do is then add that all up. So that's going to be carry the 1, 1, 2, 6. This is 10, so 16. Carry the 1, 2. So he paid a total of $26,000. So he should be paying $26,000 in taxes. What is Shul's effective tax rate? 26,000 divided by how much he really made, which is 120,000. 26 divided by 120.
Alex, did you just put that?
That's 21.6, repeating. If you put 0.6, that's fine. But it's 21.6% taxes, okay? Or 21 and 2/3 if you want to write it like that. Percent. Okay. All right.
Got it.
For that page. All right, Nomieville, the tax is 20%, no matter how much money is made. So it's a flat tax of 20%. Kira earns 80K. How much taxes should she pay? That's pretty straightforward. 80K times 20%. That's going to be 16,000. You just do 80,000 times 0.20, you'll get 16,000.
This all is on
Couldn't
the
you just do 0.2?
Yes, it's going to be the same test, just with different numbers and names.
Oh.
Okay, what?
That's just the same as doing 0.2.
Yes, it is the same as doing 0.2. All right. Oh wait, Kira forgot. She gets 15,000 in standard deduction. So Kira applies at their income. How much money does she save? So in this situation, if Kira forgot to apply that to that, what she's going to do is when you have a deduction, I know the TV's not showing. When you have a deduction, you subtract that from your income. So 80,000 minus, I hate you so much, 15,000. That means what she gets taxed on is 65,000. She only pays taxes for $65,000 of the dollars she made. Times that by 20%. And she should have paid, in this situation, $13,000. The question was, how much money does she save? In this case, she saves from $16,000 to $13,000, $3,000.
I love how you diverse with the names.
Thank you. Well, those were the names of the students from last year, so, and they always ask to put their names on the
You
test.
spelled them very wrong.
That's the funny part. Now let's go to Moshe. Moshe also earns 80K, but taxed at 20%. And he gets a Staten Island credit that gives $4,000 credit. Why is
Staten Island credit?
the Staten Island credit? We heard you were from Staten Island, so we gave you some credit for your payment.
This is fancy.
It was this, yeah, it was dancing. Okay, TV, you want to work or what, buddy?
This is a sign from God.
It's not a sign for God. It's a sign from crappy cords. You see, a computer that I have to use for like 3 years in a row. It sounds like it's about to explode because it's working at two things at once. God forbid. All right,
We should not test.
shut up. So it's 80K. It should be 20%.
Put that
So
on the
80K times 20%. So he's expected to pay 16,000. But since this is a credit, you subtract that from the taxes directly. So if he gets a 4,000 credit, you subtract $4,000 from it. Too many zeros. 4,000 from it, and you should get 12,000. So how much did he save on tax? Luckily for us, in credits, when you save on tax, you save as much as you get credited. So 16,000 minus 14 or 12,000 is 4,000. So he saved much the amount he got credited. All right. Jonah makes 40K a year, but needs to pay 15% tax on it. The government takes $125 of every week from his paycheck. Does he get a refund
What's wrong with
of it? Because it sucks. Or it has to pay the government. And how much?
Mr. Toll, don't fly into a game right off the video.
What's up? Yeah, that's fine. I won't
We
make
get
it.
demonetized.
Oh my god, this
So,
We're recording?
yeah.
Does blowing on not do anything?
It did 20 years ago on the N64. What's up?
Yeah,
The previous answer, the previous question.
You could have figured it out. It was a credit, yeah. I think on the test, I'll separate it first. How much would he pay without the credit? How much he pays with the credit? And then how much does he save? So it's not so like freebie, okay? Now, can we work TV? Oh, I love this computer. Okay. Still flickering like a piece of. Love you. All right. So. All right. Let's do this before the TV actually explodes. Okay. So.
For what reason?
I don't know, because it sucks. Just might as well add to it. All right. He gets charged 125 taxes per week. Okay. So that means he got charged 125 times how many weeks are there in the year? How many weeks are in the year? 52. And if you don't remember that, don't worry, you could ask me during the test. So that's going to be 52. So 125 times 52. 125 times 52. 6,500. So 6,500. So that's how much money the government took, okay? So that's how much money the government took. We need to figure out how much money he actually owes the government. So in this case, he made 40,000 and he paid 15% tax on it. So we're gonna do 40,000 times 0.15. And that's going to be $6,000. So he owes $6,000, but they took $6,500. That means the government needs to refund him. So in this section, you put refund because the government took too much. So they have to give it back. So the government will refund them. And it will refund them the difference between $6,500, what they took, versus what she owed. So they need to pay him $500. Okay? If he owed more than they took, then he will have to make a payment. You didn't say anything too suspicious, right?
Why did you write refund? Yeah, no.
Because So because the government, we figured out with $125 over 52 weeks, the government took $6,500 in total. But because he only made $40K this year, and he paid 15% on it, that's only $6,000. So he only owed $6,000, but the government took $6,500.
Right.
And that's how he gets his tax refund. That's how you get your tax refund, because usually the government took too much money from you.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
Yeah. Is there any more pages?
Nope. That's it.
It's two-sided.
Nope. There's 2 pages. That's it. We've got 1, 2. The end.
Oh, I didn't make it double-sided. That's weird. Okay.
Alright, video's over.
Wait.
Yeah. Video over.
Wait.